What's going on, guys? Ryan Pineda here. In today's video, we are going to be talking about a really big crypto investment that I just made. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. My name's Ryan Pineda. I'm more known as a real estate investor. We've been doing over 100 plus deals a year for the past 3 years straight. Majority of that is fix and flip. But this year, I started investing really heavily into crypto. To give some background, back in January, I did a video talking about how Bitcoin had just reached new all-time highs. It had passed over $20,000. And I mentioned in that video that many people thought it could potentially reach $100,000 this year in 2021. And I was convinced as well. After that video, about a week later, I bought $200,000 worth of Bitcoin at $31,000 a coin. And obviously that investment's looking pretty good just a month later. I'm gonna get into that in a sec though. But even before that, I actually had some Ethereum from 2017 when I bought originally. I invested $50,000 back in 2017 between Ethereum, between altcoins and all this stuff, but really Ethereum was the only one that ended up panning out. So I had 26 coins of Ethereum and I ended up wanting to double down on that as well. So after I bought that big chunk of Bitcoin in January, I ended up buying $50,000 worth of Ethereum as well. And I was lucky enough to get in for only $1,050 a coin. So that brought my total crypto investment back in January to $300,000 between what I invested that month and what I had previously in 2017. And let me tell you, the last month of holding it, it's been insane. If you haven't seen, Bitcoin reached a new all-time high of $58,000, essentially almost double of what I paid for it the month previous. Ethereum also doubled, crossing over $2,000. So my investments were looking really good. And to make things even sweeter, after that initial investment, Elon Musk revealed that Tesla bought over $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. And the craziest part of all that was his investment had increased by over $1 billion at one point. To put that in perspective, in 2020, Tesla profited $720 million. That means that they made more money investing in Bitcoin for 1 month than they did for a full year of making cars. If that's not insane, I don't know what is. But a company that you may or may not have heard about is called MicroStrategy, and they're led by Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor has been ahead of this Bitcoin train from the beginning. Last year when it was tanking because of the pandemic, he went and put $500 million of his company's money into Bitcoin. Now, obviously that investment's looking really good, but that wasn't enough. He also wanted to raise another $1 billion to buy more Bitcoin this year. And it's hard to tell what his total holdings are at this point because who knows how much of that $1 billion he's deployed. But according to reports, they have somewhere around $3.5 billion of Bitcoin. So obviously you should be taking crypto very seriously. If guys like Elon Musk are buying into it, if guys in public companies like Michael Saylor are buying into it, when do you think these other companies are gonna do the same? And guess what happens when more companies with more billions try to buy? It's simple supply and demand. It's gonna continue to raise the price. I woke up this morning and Bitcoin had tanked over 15%. So now that you know where things are at, you know who the players are involved, you know that it's gone up a ton in the last year and it's gone up a ton just year to date. So you're probably asking yourself, what should I invest in? What kind of coins should I get? What are you gonna invest in, Ryan? And here's the first thing I'll say. Number one, Bitcoin and all other cryptos are super volatile. So if you can't handle the stress of it being so volatile and the moment it goes down, you want to sell, don't buy any Bitcoin because it is going to go down. My belief is that as you continue to hold, it'll be great in the long run, but you got to be able to withstand all the ups and downs emotionally. You got to be able to manage the stress and not let it affect you. And to prove my point, today I am filming this on Monday, February 22nd, and it is one of those days where people are getting what's called weak hands. I woke up this morning and both Bitcoin and Ethereum were down over 10%. And what happens is the people who have weak hands end up selling off because they think it's going to drop a ton and they don't want it anymore. These are the same people that bought it last week at all-time highs, and now they want to sell because they think that it's a bubble. You don't want to be those people because they just lost 10%, maybe more. What you do want to be is somebody who's willing to believe in it for the long haul. I'm not out here saying that you should day trade or that you should try and time the market. It's very difficult with Bitcoin. But I'll tell you, my strategy is to continue to buy dips just like this. When I bought back in January for $31,000, it was actually during a dip. It had reached all-time highs of $40,000 and then it dipped all the way down back to 30. To me, I'd rather buy in that spot because I know what's possible. It's already reached $40,000, so I'm getting it at essentially 75% of its all-time high. Today, it's very similar. We know that Bitcoin's all-time high was $58,000. and it dropped almost 20% from that price all the way down to $48,000. Well, what happened was this morning, so many people were trying to buy it at that dip that you couldn't even put an order in at that amount. It was just going up too quickly. And I was one of those people. I was trying to buy it at $48,000. It wouldn't let me. I kept missing my bids. But eventually I got one of my orders filled for $75,000 at $51,000 a coin. I'm really happy with that price because I do believe that it's going to continue to go up. I still think it's getting to 100K at the end of 2021. But I also know it could dip back down to $40,000. It's very possible. But even if it does, I will not sell it during that time. I'm going to just continue to hold and let it ride up. If you can't tell, I want to make that very clear. My whole position is to hold. I do not plan to sell and try and make a quick profit. Now, that wasn't the only bet I made today. I actually also made a very big bet on Ethereum. Now, as I said before, I bought Ethereum when it was around $1,000, and then it reached all-time highs of over $2,000. Once again, I tried to buy it, but the orders were just filling up too fast. Everyone was trying to buy the dip. So I ended up getting it at $1,680 a coin, and I put $100,000 towards it. Now, obviously, I'm very bullish on Ethereum. I wouldn't have put $100,000 on it today if I wasn't, but that's really my investing strategy when it comes to crypto. Whenever I get some extra money that I may not need for my business or I don't need it to buy real estate, I definitely don't want to put it in stocks. I don't want to keep it in savings. I would rather save it in crypto. I think crypto is a great hedge against inflation, and I think it's going to be a great ROI. I still think it's in the early stages, so no matter what price you buy at today, you're still going to end up okay, but only as long as you hold it. If you try and sell it when it's down, then you're not going to end up okay. You're going to lose a lot of money. But as with any investment, the risk is always there. There's a risk that it could completely tank tomorrow and your stuff is not worth anything. I went through that in 2017 when I first bought, and then it just tanked like crazy. But I decided to hold on to it, and now here in 2021, my investment is actually in the positive. So I think crypto is a great investment as long as you're willing to hold and you're okay with all the ups and downs and the volatility. So as it stands today, my total investment into crypto is about $500,000. I'm up over $200,000 really in just the last month, even including the negative dip today. I am expecting it to double this year in 2021, and I have no intention to sell any of it. I'm pretty much all Bitcoin and Ethereum because I believe they're the two that all these other altcoins are gonna be built off of. And honestly, I've been so burned by the altcoins back in 2017, I really don't even wanna invest in them. I haven't done any research to know what companies are legit. I just don't even want to deal with them. I just want to stick with the main ones because I know they're going to be the safest bet. I'm sure there are a ton of altcoins that are going to get much better returns, but I don't have the time to research them. I would rather do a whole bunch of other things in business than try and research the next big altcoin. But it doesn't mean that you can't. I'm just telling you how I invest, and I'm letting you know I just bought the dip and made another big investment into crypto because I believe in it. And I'll also add to that my belief is only strengthened every time one of these big companies buys more crypto. Michael Saylor was the first big guy to start doing it with MicroStrategy. Elon is obviously the most famous to jump into it now, but I can tell you, watch what happens in 2021. A ton of these other public companies are gonna do it. I wouldn't be surprised if Elon buys even more. We know that Michael Saylor wants to buy more, so it's gonna continue to drive the price up with this much money coming into the system. But anyways, if you like this video, do me a big favor, go hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed, go follow me on all the socials. Till next time, peace.